You probably didn't buy your Pothos plant expecting it to change your life. Maybe it was just a pretty touch of green for a quiet corner. Low maintenance, easy to care for, forgiving. But what if that leafy vine has been doing something else this whole time, something you haven't noticed? Because here's the truth, not all Pothos plants bring luck. Some quietly soften the room, yes, but others, they simply sit there, decorative, harmless, powerless. The difference isn't in the plant, it's in the placement. There's a quiet principle in energy design that says, what you see when you first enter a space sets the tone for everything else. So what happens when the first thing your home shows you is a fading plant on a forgotten shelf? Or worse, a green symbol of life placed where energy can't reach it? We tend to focus on what to add to our homes, more light, more comfort, more peace. But sometimes abundance isn't about adding. It's about unlocking what's already there. And your Pothos, it might just be the key. If it lives in the right spot, it can help energy move more freely. It can brighten the entrance, soften tension, even shift the mood of a room without saying a word. This isn't magic. It's not superstition. It's simply the way environment and emotion dance with each other, quietly, subtly, every day. So today, let's walk through your home together. I'll show you the 5 best places to put your Pothos if you want to welcome fortune into your space. And just as important, where not to put it if you want your good luck to stick around. Because it's not about chasing abundance. It's about letting it in and knowing exactly where to place the invitation. Part 1, your front door. Is money coming in or leaking out? You come home. Keys jingle, the doorknob turns, and there's that moment, barely a breath long, before you step inside. Most days it feels automatic. You open the door, carry groceries, check the mail, answer a text. But the doorway sees it all. It watches how you arrive, what you bring in, what you leave behind. And quietly, without you noticing, it speaks on your behalf. That's why it matters where your Pothos sits. Not because it's trendy, not because someone said it brings luck, but because that single plant, if placed with care, can either open the energy or slowly block it. There's a strange truth in many American homes. We put so much love into the living room, into throw pillows and lighting and comfort. But the front door, it's often where packages pile up, where old shoes wait too long to be picked up, where the plant goes just to fill a spot. But the entrance, it's not just a passage, it's the first breath of your home, and like all first breaths, it sets the tone for everything that follows. If a guest walked in, what would they feel before they saw you? If you walked into your own life like a stranger, what would greet you? Pothos isn't just green, it drapes, it softens, it listens. And when placed gently to the left of the entrance, yes, the left side as you look out, it creates something we rarely name but always feel: welcome. Not the kind that says, come in for coffee, but the deeper kind. The kind that tells the universe you're ready, ready for energy to arrive, ready for things to grow again. But when that same plant is shoved into a dark corner, drooping near a recycling bin or crowding a shoe rack, it stops speaking. It becomes something forgotten. Its leaves turn yellow at the edges, not because they weren't watered, but because it was never meant to be ignored. Energy does that too. It fades when unseen. Some people think energy is a concept, but you know it when you feel it. That sharpness in the chest when you walk into a room that's cluttered, that breath you unconsciously hold when the hallway feels too tight, or the way you somehow sleep better the day you finally cleared off the pile near the stairs. Your front door is your home's first heartbeat. If the rhythm is smooth, everything else flows more gently. But if it's blocked, even by a beautiful plant in the wrong place, you may feel it in subtle ways. Delayed decisions, tired mornings, conversations that go in circles. That's why placement isn't about style. It's about energy intelligence. Here's a different picture. You open the door and the light catches the Pothos just right. Its leaves spill like soft ribbons, trailing slightly as if reaching toward the floor. It's placed just to the left, on a low table or a raised stand. There's space around it, room for the air to move, for the energy to land. It doesn't shout, it whispers. Welcome, stay a while. This isn't about superstition, it's about awareness. And in a world that moves fast, this kind of awareness is wealth in itself. Take a moment, maybe right now, to look at your entryway. Is there flow or is there friction? Can air and light move freely, or do you feel squeezed before you even get to the kitchen? Are you greeted by life or by reminders? And that pothos, if it's there, what does it look like today? Not just its leaves, but its presence. Does it breathe or does it shrink against the wall? Does it hold light or has it been tucked away like a thought you didn't finish? You don't have to change everything. Sometimes all it takes is moving a plant 6 inches to the left, giving it light, giving it space, wiping off the leaves, choosing a pot that feels aligned, not just convenient. That small shift can unlock more than you think. Because wealth in all its forms doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be welcomed. And sometimes all that welcome needs is one soft, living thing standing quietly by your door saying, "You belong here, so does abundance." Part 2, the southeast corner, where wealth quietly waits. Not all corners are created equal. Some just collect dust and lost socks. But others, like the southeast corner of your home, are different. They hold something quieter, older, more patient. If energy has direction, this is where prosperity tends to sit and wait. Not knocking, not pushing, just waiting to be seen. You might not have noticed it. Most people don't. The southeast corner rarely gets the spotlight. It's often the place behind the dining table or where an unused chair leans into the wall. A spot we walk past without really stepping into. But if you're looking for a place in your home to support your finances, your opportunities, your long-term stability, this is where to begin. Not with action, but with attention. Stand in the center of your home, find the southeast, walk toward it like it matters, because it does. Is it open? Is it lit? Or is it dim, crowded, forgotten? Energy doesn't need much, but it does need acknowledgement. When this corner is stagnant, wealth doesn't disappear, it just stops growing. Like a plant kept in the dark, it shrinks inward, quietly, slowly, until you start to feel it not as a crisis, but as a slow fade, a missed opportunity, a delayed phone call, an idea that never takes root. That's why placing a pothos plant here isn't decoration. It's invitation. Pothos belongs to the wood element, an energy of growth, flexibility, quiet upward movement. When placed in the southeast, it amplifies the very nature of the space. Gentle expansion, financial wellness, a sense that things are moving, even if slowly. But like any relationship, it needs care. Choose a pot that feels grounded, mossy green, earthy brown, deep terracotta, not shiny or loud. Something that belongs in the background but still holds presence. Let the vines trail gently, not in a rush. The plant should feel like it's listening to the space, not trying to take it over. Keep the area tidy. Remove papers, cords, boxes of things you've been meaning to get to one day. That day is today. When this corner is clean, your mind feels lighter even if you don't realize it. When the air moves freely, ideas do too. And if there's light, natural or soft lamplight, let it touch the leaves. Let the plant feel warmth, so it can give that energy back to you. Because pothos, like all living things, reflects the care it receives. If you water it, clean its leaves, offer it a space where it can quietly grow, it becomes more than a plant. It becomes a presence, a symbol, a mirror for how you treat possibility. Some people like to add little tokens here, a bowl of coins, a piece of citrine, a tiny figurine that brings them joy. You don't have to. The plant is enough. But if you do, let it be meaningful, not just a trend. Let it carry a memory, a wish, a version of you that's still unfolding. And perhaps the most important part, give this corner your presence. Sit near it. Breathe. Let it be part of your morning coffee, your afternoon silence, your slow evening. You don't have to activate anything. You just have to show up. Because wealth is like that. It doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be noticed. And the southeast corner, when honored, becomes a kind of quiet altar to that noticing. A reminder that the energy of abundance is not about speed or drama. It's about slow, steady growth, like roots that take hold before anything breaks the surface. There's a kind of beauty in claiming that space, in saying this is where I let good things come to me, without force, without fear, just a quiet agreement between you and the space you live in that you're open to more and willing to make room for it. So maybe today, after this video ends, you walk to that corner. Maybe you dust a shelf. Maybe you move a chair. Maybe you place a plant, not because someone told you to, but because something inside you said yes. And maybe, just maybe, that small green leaf becomes the first sign of something new. Not a miracle, not a windfall, just a shift. A soft reminder that wealth doesn't shout, it waits. And now it's time to open the door and let it in. Part 3: Living Room, the heart of family energy. Every home has a place where people gather, not always at the same time, not always with the same mood, but still, it's where the threads of the household cross paths. Sometimes it's over coffee. Sometimes it's in silence as someone scrolls, another folds laundry, and a third just sits. That place is usually the living room. But more than a room, it's a container for presence, for emotion, for the kind of energy that doesn't need to speak out loud to be felt. And because the living room holds so many kinds of moments, joyful ones, tired ones, awkward ones, it also holds energy longer than you might expect. It soaks it in like a sponge. The tension of that conversation you never finished, the comfort of a blanket you wrap around someone when they cry, the leftover laughter from a holiday 2 years ago. This room remembers, and the way you care for it says something about how you want that energy to move forward. That's why a pothos plant here matters, not because it's beautiful, though it is, but because it brings breath into a space that can sometimes hold too much. Pothos doesn't push, it doesn't take up space, but it listens. Its soft, trailing vines don't interrupt, they soften. They relax corners that were too sharp. They pull the eye away from screens and clocks and towards something alive and slow. Placed near the couch, beside the TV, or in a corner that feels like it never quite belonged, the plant becomes an anchor. Not for decoration, but for calm, for balance, for emotional gravity. In rooms where people pass through constantly, where words float and pause and restart, the pothos helps energy flow, not too fast, not too loud, just enough. It's especially powerful if you place it near what's called an energetic edge. That could be the sharp corner of a coffee table, a space between two armchairs where tension tends to sit, or simply a part of the room where people never quite get comfortable. The plant doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be placed like it belongs, like it's part of the room's breathwork. And you'll feel it. The room may not change dramatically, but it will feel a little more forgiving, less brittle. A place where sighs come easier, where eyes soften, where silence doesn't feel empty. This is important, especially in homes where the living room is also a family crossroads, where adult children come home, where news is shared, where grief sometimes sits next to laughter. You don't need to design that space to impress. You need to let it hold space for everyone, and a living plant reminds you to do just that, to let the room live, not perform. That's also why maintenance matters. Don't let the pothos dry out. Don't ignore it like we sometimes ignore the tension in the air. Water it gently. Clean its leaves once a week. Notice when it grows toward light and when it doesn't. That's your cue to adjust, to move the lamp, to pull the curtain, to check in, not just with the plant, but with the energy. If you want to add something near the pothos, make it personal. A framed photo that brings ease, a book you return to, a bowl that once belonged to someone who made you feel safe, but don't overfill. This isn't a shelf, it's a small ecosystem. It needs air, space, a little light. There's something quietly healing about this. In a room designed for interaction, a plant designed for quiet helps everyone exhale. It reminds us that not every gathering needs noise. That peace isn't the absence of words, it's the presence of something soft enough to carry them. Maybe you've walked into your living room 100 times and felt like something's off. You didn't have the words, you just knew the space didn't settle right. That's not your fault. But now you get to change it, not with a renovation, just with a shift, a choice, a little green presence that doesn't ask much, but gives more than you see at first glance. Because the heart of your home doesn't beat with design, it beats with energy. And when that energy feels held, not rushed, not ignored, not shoved into corners, that's when connection happens. That's when people want to stay longer, listen better, feel safer. That's when a simple living room becomes something more. So if there's a space beside your couch, a corner that catches afternoon sun, a spot under the shelf where a little green could thrive, place the pothos there. Let it grow quietly as your life continues to unfold around it. And trust that its presence will do something small and powerful in return. It will hold the room together, not with boldness, but with balance, not with noise, but with calm. And in a world where so many things ask for attention, this little green listener will ask for nothing and still remind everyone who enters, this home breathes. Part 4, your desk, where ideas turn into income. Somewhere in your home, there's a surface you've chosen to sit at when something needs to get done. A place for bills, letters, quiet work. Maybe it's a full home office. Maybe it's a corner table you've claimed near the window. Whatever it is, that desk isn't just where you do things. It's where your attention gathers. And wherever your attention goes, energy follows. That's why this space, no matter how big or humble, is more than functional. It's where thoughts turn into decisions, where decisions turn into action. And action over time turns into income, into stability, into the quiet feeling of I've got this. But only when the space is clear, alive, awake. And that's where the Pothos comes in. Unlike the couch or the dining room table, the desk is rarely emotional on its own. It's more neutral. It absorbs whatever energy you bring to it, focus, stress, distraction, or flow. And the Pothos, with its long trailing vines and soft green pull, has this rare gift. It slows the energy just enough to help you think again, not second guess, just reset. Placed on the desk's corner or at its far edge, the plant becomes a quiet companion. It doesn't demand anything, but it creates space between your next thought and your last one. That space is where better decisions happen, where clearer answers emerge, where the day stops spinning, even just for a few minutes. If your work involves creativity, management, writing, money, planning, anything that pulls from the brain, this plant isn't fluff, it's filter. It helps you hold your focus longer with less tension in the chest. It absorbs some of the buzz from the devices around you. The screen, the notifications, the lights, so much movement, so much pressure to respond. The Pothos doesn't respond. It sits, grows, breathes, and you start to match it. Some days you'll glance at it mid-task and suddenly breathe deeper. You don't even know why. That's the point. This isn't about turning your desk into a sanctuary. It's about returning it to what it was meant to be, a place where clarity lives. That's hard to find when the desk is covered in receipts, pens that don't work, cords with no home. So before placing the plant, clear space for it. And in doing so, clear space for your own next chapter. Choose a pot that feels simple. Clean, not fancy, not noisy. You're not decorating, you're inviting. Then watch what happens. The mood of your work may shift. You might reach for coffee less. You might move slower, not sluggish, but steadier, less frantic. This is especially helpful if your desk also serves as a place where money moves. Maybe you pay bills here, or run your business, or simply organize the pieces of your life that touch your wallet. That's why it matters what energy lives in that spot, because how you feel at the point of decision shapes what flows from it. You don't have to believe in energy to sense it. You already know the difference between rushed and ready, between tight and open. The Pothos doesn't do the work for you, but it holds the space so that when the work comes, you're more available to meet it. And it's not just about productivity. It's about being whole in the moment. Too many people sit down to their desks carrying everything. The noise of the morning, the heaviness of a conversation, the pressure of uncertainty. They don't know how to clear it, so it sits with them. And slowly it dulls the spark. But when you have a living thing next to you, even one as simple as a trailing plant, something shifts. You remember that time moves in growth, not grind. You let go of the need to fix everything in an hour, and from that release, flow begins again. And maybe the plant thrives. Maybe a new shoot appears after a week you thought you got nothing done. Maybe you trim a leaf and feel in some quiet way that you're making space for something better to come in. That's what this is really about, not design, not performance, just permission. Permission to let your desk support you, not just as a surface, but as a space. One that says you can start fresh here, even at 3 p.m., even when the to-do list is long, even when the ideas haven't come yet. So when you're ready, go to your desk, not to work, just to look. Does it feel like a place where something new could arrive? Or does it carry too much of what already passed? If the air feels stale, open a window. If the clutter feels loud, clear a corner. And then, only then, bring in the plant. Let it sit where your stress used to pile. Let it glow under soft light. Let it remind you that not everything needs to be solved today. Some things just need a little room, a little quiet, and a little green to grow into something more. This is your space, your work, your energy, and this plant. It's just here to hold that with you, gently, quietly, but with more power than you think. Part 5: Balcony, where nature meets intention. Not every home has one, but for those that do, the balcony is often overlooked. A place for folding chairs, potted herbs that never quite made it through winter, or storage bins waiting for someday. But behind that sliding door, just a few steps from where the house ends and the sky begins, is a space that holds something rare, the meeting point between the world outside and your inner world. And if you place a Pothos there, something begins to shift. There's a stillness to balconies, even when the traffic below hums or a neighbor's TV buzzes faintly through the walls. There's a certain in-between quality that lives there. You're not inside, but you're not quite out. And in that in-between, intention becomes clearer. The kind that doesn't need to be spoken. The kind that shows up when the wind touches your face and suddenly you feel present again. That's why the balcony is one of the most powerful places to use the Pothos, not for display but for balance. Unlike other rooms, the balcony is exposed to light, to wind, to the changing rhythm of the day, and your Pothos, when placed there thoughtfully, doesn't just adapt, it participates. It softens the lines between movement and stillness, between noise and quiet, between what's coming in and what needs to stay out. Let the plant trail down from a raised pot, like a gentle curtain. Let it sit in the corners where the energy feels a little ungrounded. If your balcony faces a busy road, a tall building, or even sharp rooftops across the street, your Pothos becomes a soft green shield, not a wall but a filter, a way for your space to breathe without being exposed. You don't need a large garden, just a ledge, a railing, a corner of floor where something can grow, because what you're really doing is building a threshold, a place where nature meets intention, where the outside world is acknowledged but not allowed to overwhelm, where your home says to the world, "I see you, but I choose calm." And the Pothos listens, its leaves flutter, bend, respond. Some days they soak in more sun than others. Some days they are drenched in wind. But as long as you care for them, they keep doing what they do best, growing slowly, softly in the direction of light. You might find yourself drawn to sit near it, with a cup of tea, a slow breath, the sounds of the street fading just enough to feel like a lullaby instead of a burden. The plant doesn't change your life, but it changes your pace, and sometimes that's enough, because intention is a quiet thing. It doesn't always need vision boards or rituals. Sometimes it just needs a place to land, and the balcony, when cleared of clutter and met with presence, becomes that landing place. A space where goals soften into patience, where ambition turns into allowance, where the future can arrive gently without demand. If you want to add more, wind chimes, small stones, a piece of wood that reminds you of someplace peaceful, do it only if it feels like a yes, not out of trend, but because it carries meaning. Your balcony doesn't need more, it needs care and clarity. High rises, suburban porches, even a second-story fire escape can hold this kind of magic. What matters isn't size, it's awareness. The awareness to pause before stepping out, to breathe, to say, this is part of my home too. This is where the world and I shake hands. And if a Pothos can grow here, can stay green and soft despite the wind, it means something else is growing too. Maybe trust, maybe patience, maybe just a little more room for yourself. There's a tenderness in that, in knowing you've made space for something gentle, in letting your home say more than just, "I exist," but instead, "I choose who and what enters." That's the kind of energy that doesn't just attract wealth, it attracts peace, and that kind of wealth stays. So go out there, slide the door open, stand still. Listen, look at the light, the movement, the silence underneath it all. If there's room for a plant, there's room for intention. If there's wind, there's invitation. And if there's a moment when you feel calm, even just for a few minutes, then you've already done the hardest part. You've let your home become a reflection of your gentlest self. And the Pothos, sitting quietly in the corner, is just there to remind you what's possible when you create space for it. Mistakes to avoid where Pothos blocks, not blesses. There's a strange kind of heaviness in a home that once felt light. You can't always name it, but you sense it. In the way mornings feel slower, in how conversations start and stall, in the little pauses before decisions get made. And sometimes that weight isn't about what's missing, it's about what's misplaced. Even something as gentle as a pothos, yes, even that trailing green you love can become a block instead of a blessing if it's put in the wrong place. This isn't about fear, it's about flow, because every space in your home speaks. And the way energy moves or gets stuck isn't random. It's shaped by where things lie, the corners we forget, the doors we half close, the shelf we shove just one more item onto, and the plant we place without thinking just to fill a gap. But the pothos it notices, because it's not decoration, it's invitation. And when that invitation is ignored or misplaced, it turns quiet. The leaves dull, the growth stalls, and the energy it once carried, the openness, the softness stops arriving. So where does pothos block instead of bless? First, next to clutter. If your plant sits beside a pile of unopened mail, tangled cords, or the "I'll get to it" stack, its job becomes impossible. It can't soften a space that's already weighed down. The plant absorbs the noise, and instead of radiating calm, it mirrors chaos. Second, dark, airless corners. Pothos is resilient but not invincible. Placing it in a place that never sees light, never feels movement, is like asking it to whisper into a void. That silence doesn't bring peace. It brings pause, the wrong kind, the kind that stalls opportunity. Third, too high or too hidden. When a pothos is placed where no one sees it, on top of shelves you barely dust, or behind furniture, it stops being part of the room's breath. It becomes invisible, forgotten, and what's forgotten rarely flows. Fourth, bathrooms without energy flow. A well-lit, clean bathroom with good airflow. Yes, the pothos thrives, but in small, damp, windowless bathrooms, especially those near drains and clutter, it absorbs more than it can release. It holds energy meant to leave the home, and in doing so, it keeps that energy cycling in circles. Fifth, directly blocking doors. This one's subtle but powerful. A pothos hanging in front of a frequently used doorway, not beside it but right in front, can disrupt movement. Energy doesn't just bump into things physically. It hesitates, it delays, and over time, so do you, in decisions, in plans, in clarity. And last, this is the one most people miss, placing the plant out of guilt. When we use plants to fix a space we haven't truly tended to, they know. When we hope the greenery will distract from the mess, from the tension, from the years of avoidance, the pothos becomes a bandage over something deeper. And bandages don't breathe. So what should you do instead? Pause, walk through your home slowly. Don't look for beauty, look for breath. Is the air moving? Do your eyes feel calm? Do you breathe deeper or tighter? Wherever the energy feels open, supported, and seen, that's where a pothos belongs. And wherever it feels chaotic, cramped, or just shoved there, begin with clearing, not adding. Sometimes the biggest healing isn't in placement, it's in removal. In letting go of the plant that's turned yellow from too much darkness. In moving the pot away from the hallway where it blocks your morning flow. In finally clearing that desk corner before placing anything else on it. There's no shame in getting it wrong. Most of us do. But once you feel the difference between where a plant thrives and where it simply survives, you can never unfeel it. And you'll know. You'll walk past it one day and something will tug at your chest. A little breath, a small shift, a soft yes. That's the moment energy starts flowing again. Because when the pothos is placed with awareness, not habit, it becomes more than a plant. It becomes a compass. A gentle, green reminder of how you want your life to move, freely, softly, with light, and never by force. Final, maybe by now you've realized this wasn't just about a plant. It wasn't about where to put it, how to water it, or what color pot to choose. It was about attention, about where your energy goes quietly daily without anyone watching. It was about how your home speaks and whether you're listening. From your front door to your desk, from the southeast corner to the balcony, and every small breath of your living room in between. You weren't just placing a pothos. You were placing intention. You were choosing softness where tension had lived, choosing growth where things had once paused, choosing to care not out of trend, but out of truth. Because energy doesn't respond to perfection, it responds to presence, and presence is healing. Some of you might feel inspired to move things today. Some might sit quietly just noticing. Some might finally take that yellowing plant and say, "Thank you," before letting it go. All of that is sacred. There's no one way to shift your space. There's only your way, the one that feels honest. The Pothos is just a mirror, a gentle green reflection of your own inner rhythm. Your willingness to slow down, to pay attention, to breathe where you used to rush. And when you care for it, not just water, but truly see it, it begins to change the room. And the room begins to change you. So thank you for walking through this journey with me, for caring enough about your space to ask how it feels. That's not small, that's not decorative, that's transformational. And wherever you are, whether in a city apartment, a quiet home in the woods, or somewhere in between, I hope you find a little corner of stillness, a soft green presence, a reminder that wealth, peace, and clarity are already on their way. They just need a place to land. Let your home be that place, and let your heart be open when they arrive.